Hey guys, welcome to Coco Strands TV. Today I will be going over the requirements to travel out of the United States to anywhere in the world, but especially Ghana. I'll be getting some messages, some DMs, people saying, Coco, I want to go to Ghana. And the first thing I ask them is, do you have a passport? And they're like, no, I got to get it. So usually it's because people are confused and they don't know where to start. So I have written down some steps and some requirements to go to Ghana and really just to get your passport and get you ready to go anywhere all over the world. So the first thing I did was I went to the U.S. Department of State. So that website is travel.state.gov. And that's where I went and I got the whole breakdown, everything you need for your passport, the requirements, like your pictures, your photos, the sizes of them, how much, how long the process takes to get your passport. So you guys can find everything about a passport. If you are a U.S. citizen, any state, any city, any town, you can find it all here. There's also a section on the website where you can actually click and you can go punch in your zip code, your state, your city, and it'll give you a post office near you that you can actually go and like get the form to fill out for the passport. You can find that at your local post office. On this website, on travel.state.gov, you can actually print out the application if you want, fill it out. You can actually print it out or you can fill it out online there. So there's a few different ways you could do it. I know some USPSs, you could do your passport applications or the photo, there. So it's quite a bit of ways you could do it. You just have to, whatever works for you. The best way for me is I just go to my nearest post office. You do have to go on that post office's website, make an appointment, and show up. I wouldn't just show up because usually they're going to make you have an appointment. They have a certain amount of time and people to do that, so they usually require an appointment. Okay, so don't just show up. Not saying it can't happen. If you're in a rural area, you probably can, or a small town, but just for the most part, just call, make sure you show up. You're going to need your social security card, your identification, and your birth certificate. You will have to leave your birth certificate with them, guys. So if you're not comfortable with that, that's something that's required for a passport. You also have to, but like I said, what I did was I just have an extra one at home. And if something happened to it, at least I have an extra one. You can get your birth certificate. Usually it's the state and city that you were born in. You can go to the Hall of Records and receive another birth certificate. Okay. All right. So what else? Okay. So let's continue. Usually it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to receive your passport in the mail. You will not receive your birth certificate in the same package. You have to wait probably about a week or two after that to receive your birth certificate back. So don't panic if you don't see your birth certificate with your passport. Okay. Now, your visa. So once you receive your passport, usually you should get your ticket first. Usually when you're getting your visa, they like to see a to and a return flight, and they need an itinerary. So usually before you get your visa, I would just go ahead and buy your ticket first. And also, Coco Strands, I have a traveling business. So I'm a travel agent. So if you guys need help getting some cheap tickets or affordable tickets to go to Ghana and you want to travel there, you want to have a room, a great everything, I can handle all that, guys, for you. You just hit me up on cococlubtravels.com. That's cococlubtravels.com. I'll leave the link in the website in the description below, and I can take care of you guys if you don't have time or if you're kind of confused. Or I've been to Ghana, so I know like all the good places, and if you want to actually live in a village and be with the people, I know good areas for that. If you guys want to live luxuriously while you're there, I have good packages for that. Okay, all right, so moving on. A visa. Now there's two different ways you could do a visa. If you want to, which is a little cheaper, if you want to wait to receive it from an embassy, usually it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to do that. to receive it from the embassy. And you do have to, once again, send off your passport physically. You have to send it off, and you have to fill out information and application from the embassy to do that, which, I mean, you can either do the embassy that you're from, the state that you're from. There's Washington, D.C., there's New York. One of my friends even told me about Arkansas, because it's not so many people there going to different countries, so sometimes that's quicker. You could try to find out little states that really don't have that much population. Sometimes they go faster. Arkansas is one of them. And what you're going to have to require for that is the same thing. You're going to have to do your research and make sure you send off the correct things, and that you fill that form out detailed, guys. That form is very important when you're doing your visa. They want to make sure that they know where you're going, who you're going to be staying with, where you're going to be staying. You guys can also do a visa on arrival. That's also, let's say you don't have enough time, or me, I didn't want to send off my passport. So there's something called a visa on arrival, and usually you can do that with the airport, or you can do it with a company that you just basically scan your passport and you send it off to them for a fee. They will therefore give you a PDF, email you a digital visa, and then you print it out and then you bring it to the airport, to the international airport. Also, there are companies in Ghana. There's one that's called the African Diaspora Resource Center, which I personally go through. I love them. They do really great work. You can call them on WhatsApp and talk to someone. And if you need or have any questions, you pay a fee, and they get your visa on arrival completed within about 4 to 5 business days. So I love them. I use them every single time. And yeah, and they have a website, and they are in Accra, the African Diaspora Resource Center. They can also help you guys with a visa on arrival. And then you guys want to make sure you go get your yellow fever card, your vaccine for the yellow fever. That's required to go to Ghana. It's up to you if you want to get your malaria pills. That's not required, but if you don't have a really great immune system, or you might be sensitive to mosquito bites, if you got sick get sick easily, I would go ahead and take the malaria pills just to protect yourself. But it's not required. But the yellow fever is required. Usually you have to go through, on the website, you have to go through a website called Passport Health. And that is a website that will link you to the nearest nurse office or doctor's office that gives you the shot. They're not cheap, you guys. They're like $380, $400, $350, somewhere in that range. I paid about $386 for mine, but you only have to get it one time. So you don't have to, that's not something you have to keep going and getting. So they'll give you a yellow card. You'll have your yellow fever shot. You'll be documented, and you also bring that along with your passport, your yellow fever shot card, and then your visa. Okay. All right. So the COVID vaccination is not required to travel to Ghana as of today. This is October 2023. So right now, as far as I know, I just traveled there in September. The COVID vaccine is not required to go to Ghana. So, but always keep up with that. Always do your research to check the updates. But as of right now, October 2023, I left September. So this is October 2023. The COVID vaccine is not required to enter Ghana. Neither is the test. So I didn't have to test this time. I did have to test in April of this year, 2023. But as far as September, I did not have to test, nor did I need the vaccine to go to Ghana. Okay. But always update yourself, always research, always make sure, because things change, obviously. Okay. And also just make sure that, you take some mosquito repellent. Also make sure you take, there's a charger that has it's like, since you're in another country, the outlets are different, okay, than American plugs. So make sure you take the adapter with you, so that if, like I was in Ivory Coast on a trip as well, and I had to switch flights in Ivory Coast, they did not have any American plugs. So they're very expensive inside the hotel. So make sure you get that from Amazon first before you travel. Make sure you have everything you need to plug into your devices, your phones. Make sure you, have all your documents with you. Yeah, just make sure you are all set to go. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Again, as long as you have your yellow fever card, your passport, your visa, your ticket, you should be good to go. So that is your passport, your visa, your plane ticket, and your yellow fever. You should be good to go to Ghana. And then if you want to have me set you up a wonderful trip, which includes your pickup from the airport, your beautiful room, some